Welcome to Nightline. I'm Jerry Middleton, and joining me again, as usual, is Rick Fletcher. Rick, good to see you.
Jerry, how are you? We've had a very busy weekend. Mother Nature intervened in everything also.
So everything.
Everything. It kind of throws things off a little bit, but we were able to accomplish a few things. And we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to share. A lot of good things are going on. A lot of good basketball. And we're gonna talk a lot about basketball. So that's going on. We got the boys had a big game. The girls are right there in the thick of things, and we're all excited about that. So hey, we're glad to be here. Another week is coming here.
Another week is come and gone, and we're sitting here on a Sunday evening. We did it on a Sunday evening so that we would have all these results in.
Yeah.
And so let's head right to it. A little wrestling went on at the regionals down at Richmond.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, we've got a very good wrestling program here. And what I've learned is, and I've gotten to know these kids and these coaches, is our coaches are great. Corey Baker and Todd Kroll, those guys are great. So they took their team. They had 8 wrestlers that they took over to Richmond for the regional. And that's tremendous, you know.
Yes, absolutely.
A program this size, and 3 of them are moving on to semi-state. And when you talk about a regional or a sectional or the tournament, it's you're throwing everybody in the pot there. You've got the big schools and small schools, and you're competing against everybody. So that, to me, that's a tremendous accomplishment.
Well, now we're starting to get into semi-state. We're going to get into the who's who of wrestling in the state of Indiana. And that semi-state is going to take place at Newcastle.
Yeah.
I'm assuming on Saturday.
On Saturday, yeah.
There at the field house.
Yeah, they usually start at 9 in the morning. Weigh-ins usually go about 8 o'clock, so we're going to assume it's going to be the same format for down there at Newcastle. What a facility they're going to be there, down there at the field house down there at Newcastle. That'll be awesome for them. But anyways, let's go over the results because it's pretty exciting.
Sounds good.
We're going to hear some familiar names here.
Oh, I'm sure.
Let's start with the youngest, Heather Kroll.
And the lightest.
Oh, have you ever heard that name?
No, I have not.
Folks, Heather Kroll in the 106-pound class, she is your regional champion. And that's tremendous. You know, congratulations, Heather. You deserve it. We've come to know her in our dealings with wrestling and stuff, and I like her a lot. You know, I'm going to have, you know how I have Jill Berger and Landon Scoretti?
Yeah.
I'm going Heather Kroll in wrestling because you know what? I just love to see her. It'd be great to see her move on from semi-state. We'll see what happens, but that's a great accomplishment. She's only a freshman.
I know it. So, and it's like, and she's just beginning.
Yeah. And you know, Corey Baker, very proud of Heather. She works hard with her dad. You know, dad is Todd Kroll, and she's in my estimation, she's very humble but very confident.
Absolutely.
And when you're winning, you can be humble and you can be confident. And you know, so congratulations to her. So that's one, and she won the regional. Jackson Ramsey.
Yes.
Another familiar name. Now Jackson, this is familiar territory to him. He's a senior, and Coach Corey mentioned, you know, Jackson, for the years, he's been wrestling with the Knights program, or Corey's known Jackson since he was in the 5th grade, and he's been a wrestler ever since. Jackson never, ever gives less than 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's very proud of him. So he's going to move on to semi-state. He finished 3rd in the 126-pound class.
Good.
So congratulations to Jackson. Again, he's going down a familiar road for him. Obviously for Heather, who's only a freshman, this is her first time down that road.
Yes.
So congratulations to him. Boy, we'd love to see these guys move on.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
But not only that, we got one more.
Another one.
And this is only a sophomore. That's Michael Henderson.
Excuse me.
Michael Henderson is in the 220-pound class. Now, they were into the big guys now.
Not quite heavyweight.
Not quite the heavyweights, but, you know, not the small kids either. You know, he's 220 pounds. He finished 4th at the regional, so that qualifies him to go on to semi-state.
Good.
All right, so with Michael, what Corey said about him was he's finally becoming the wrestler. He's thinking that, you know, confidence. It's just like he's getting that confidence that he's finally reaching some potential that the coaches think that he can get there. He's believing it himself. And if he could ever get there 100%, Corey thinks he could be unstoppable.
Well, that's a huge thing in any sport.
Yeah.
If you have confidence that you can succeed, then you probably will.
Yeah, especially in an individual sport like
Absolutely.
wrestling. You know, confidence is a huge factor there. So, you know, congratulations to those guys right there. I got them on video here, Jerry.
You do?
Yes, we got them on video. They were kind enough to stop by. We had a lot going on Saturday.
Oh.
They were able to come back in time so we could fit them in. But, no, let's go to that video and see. We've got Heather, Jackson, and Michael, and see what they have to say. So let's roll that tape right now.
Let's roll it.
And welcome back. This is Rick Fletcher. I'm here at Northeastern High School. Right now we got wrestling. Regionals took place at Richmond High School this afternoon, and we have 3 wrestlers that are moving on. We got Heather Kroll. You're moving on in the 106, right? You actually won that division.
Yep.
All right, you got Jackson Ramsey, 126, and you finished 3rd. And Michael Henderson, you're moving on also, right? And you're moving at the 220 weight class. So Heather, you won. How's it feel? I got to ask that first.
Feels really good. I'm really proud of myself, and I was really excited.
Yeah, well, we're proud of you too, and we're really excited to see what's going to go on for semi-state. By the way, that semi-state will be at Newcastle, right? So if you have a chance, you ought to get down there. Jackson, you're at the 126 class, so what are you looking forward to next week?
Give it one last shot to move on to state.
Yeah, okay, that's all you got to do, right? Michael, 220, so you're with the big guys, right? All right, so you finished 4th.
Yes, sir.
All right, so you're going to move on to Newcastle. What are your thoughts about that?
It's probably going to be a pretty difficult first match because I'll be facing the #1 seed at a different regional, but I have high hopes. Hopefully I can move on and continue to state.
All right, so we're all excited for you. I'm sure your coaches are excited for you, and they're proud of you. You guys put in a lot of hard work, right? You put a lot of sweat goes into that. So good luck to all 3 of you. We'll be cheering you on, and I'm sure your coach will keep me abreast of what the results are, but we'll all be cheering from you. So back to you guys. Heather, Jackson, and Michael, they're going to move on to the semi-state, so congratulations to them. Back to you in the studio.
Well, Rick, another fine interview. And what 3 fantastic young student athletes to represent Northeastern at the semi-state.
I tell you, Jerry, we should be proud of these kids. You know, wrestling is not easy. We've seen them wrestle.
Oh, yeah.
It's not an easy sport. Plus, it's not like a team sport where you can hide some weaknesses.
Yeah.
You're out there on a mat, and all your weaknesses are out there with you, and everybody can see it.
I don't want to use it a mano. No offense, Heather.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one-on-one.
Yeah, it is definitely an individual sport, and that's how they run their tournament.
Yeah.
It's as individuals. So, you know what? Congratulations to them. They deserve it. If we could get a cheer block down in Newcastle, that would be fantastic. I don't know how. We just get down there, you know, go see them, cheer them on. It's really a lot of fun, and they deserve our support. So
I might look at going up to Newcastle.
It's not that far.
On Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I don't know what my schedule is for next week. I just got back, so I'm not sure.
We don't know what our schedule is tomorrow, hardly.
Yeah,
you know,
pretty much.
Things have changed, and we're going to move on here in a minute. I know we are, but Mother Nature had some say into what things were going on this weekend.
Well, things got crazy.
They got crazy.
Tuesday it started getting crazy because everybody kept saying snow, 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 and freezing rain, which did not happen until late on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But then Thursday, the snow hit, and the Hagerstown Northeastern boys game at Hagerstown was postponed, and that date has not been determined yet on when it's going to be made up.
We'll get that figured out. That's an away game. That's going to be at Hagerstown.
So I would imagine probably by, our Wednesday broadcast of boys basketball.
And we'll go over that in here in a minute.
Because Union County has now been moved to Wednesday home boys basketball game, which we'll have that on My Team Live on the Northeastern Broadcasting Network. And then we were supposed to play Tipton, and then Tipton on Friday morning said, we're supposed to play them Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon.
The Tipton superintendent says, nah, we're not traveling.
They have to travel a long way, and they got a lot more snow where they're at than we did here.
So, Jerry Kiesling and Coach Ross on the phones looked and looked and looked, and we found a common opponent, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But Warren Central.
Warren Central, and they came here last year, which I was shocked last year, and I was doubly surprised that to be willing to come back to Northeastern again this year. They were looking for a game,
and it was great. They said, yeah, we'll come over, no problem. So they come over, and I'm sure they're coming over expecting, a 15-point, 20-point win.
Absolutely.
That didn't happen.
Didn't work that way.
Didn't work that way. Knights lose to 4A Warren Central, a powerhouse in the Indianapolis area, 49-45.
Now, when you look at a team like Warren Central, okay, they're located in the heart of Indianapolis area, okay? They're 8-7 right now, but their schedule is tough.
Well, they play Ben Davis, they're playing Pike, they're playing Lawrence North, they're playing Lawrence Central. I mean, they are playing other powerhouses.
And when they came just like last year when they got off the bus and came into the gym. They are big, tall, and when they got out on the court, they're very athletic. In the JV game, 2 guys were dunking. All right, that's a rarity in these parts.
Oh yeah,
around here. So they came, but boy, I'm going to tell you what, Jerry, what a difference a year makes. Yeah. Last year when Warren Central came to town, it was shell shock for us, I think. And after playing them tough for the first quarter, then their athleticism took over, and it ended up being probably a 25-point game, something like that. This year, there was not any fear at all in the Knights. They came out not just to compete, they wanted to win that game. And you could tell right from the very first tip that they were out there not just to be the lamb to slaughter. They wanted to beat this team. And I'll tell you what, it was a tremendous ball game.
Well, anytime that we have a 4A school come in and we compete, and I said it earlier, this is like winning the war but losing the battle.
Right, exactly.
And
it's a very good description, by the way.
And this is, what a confidence builder.
Yeah.
You can get confidence and get beat.
Yeah. The teams that we're going to play in our sectional and probably at least to the regional, they're not going to be better than Warren Central.
No.
All right? We're going to face, eventually, if we go far enough, we're going to face a good team.
Yeah.
All right? But they're not, at this point, they're not going to be physically as big as Warren Central. They're not going to be more athletic than Warren Central. You're going to find some good athletes, but not at the level that Warren Central is. They were very athletic. They were fast. But guess who else was athletic and fast? The Northeastern Knights.
Yep.
And you know what? We went toe-to-toe with them. I don't know if you weren't able to be there. We had Dave Cruz. Thanks to Dave Cruz, he came in and did a great job.
Oh, absolutely. He does I watched a little bit of it, and he does a fantastic job.
So just to kind of go over it, what happened was it was a nip and tuck game.
Yep.
All the way. All of a sudden, because things happen, runs happen quick. You found with about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Warren Central was up by 11. All right. Now the Knights are battling to get back in, and by golly, they had the ball, and Raiden Faust had a 3-point attempt. It was contested, all right, but it was an attempt and a pretty good look at the basket, actually, from the top of the key, with about 5 or 6 seconds left in the ball game. And if he had hit that one, that would have put the Knights up by 1. He didn't hit it. They came back down and scored. Ended up 4-point ball game. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, you could sense and there wasn't a big crowd there because it was odd timing. and things were going on elsewhere also. But there was quite a crowd. The crowd that was there were on their feet, especially at the end. It was very exciting. So if you get a chance, go to YouTube and watch that game, because it was a lot of fun, and you can be proud of your Knights. But I think with the Knights, what that did was confidence.
Absolutely.
And they played a lot of that game without Raiden Faust. He had 2 quick fouls right in the beginning.
Yes,
and
offensive foul, and I forget the other one,
And he had to sit the bench. And so they were doing a lot of this without Raiden, and they were able to get him through the game into the end of the game. And so, you know what? Be proud of your Knights, because they played a great ball game. So I talked with the coach, Davis of Warren Central afterwards, and he says they're probably not coming back here next year, but we ought to go there or go somewhere. We ought to play one of these schools. Every year we probably ought to find a school that we can go into Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And let's go toe-to-toe with them, see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. It only makes you better.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. And I think what the Knights learned about themselves is maybe could be our year. I mean, that's, you don't know.
You learn about yourself that maybe we're a little better than we think we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to point out some performances. I got to start with Grant Luby.
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. Offensively, he had probably at least 3 nice little spin moves that he got his guy in the air, easy layups. All right. Also knocking down some mid-range to jumpers.
Yep.
All right. Defensively for Luby, he was on Tay Davis. That was his man. We played a lot of man-to-man. I think we played all man-to-man if I'm looking back.
And most people don't realize Tay Davis is going to Louisville.
Yeah, he's going to Louisville. Next year he'll be playing Duke, North Carolina State. That's who he'll be playing. Well, yesterday he was at Northeastern, okay? And he's every bit as good as what he's advertised. 6'7", sometimes he plays point guard, and sometimes he's a shooting guard, okay? 6'7", athletic. He got loose for a dunk himself in that game. But I will tell you this, Luby tied him up, and he put the hammer down on him, and he was fantastic. And if it wasn't Luby, it was another guy, Ben Deitch, also was assigned to him. These guys were switching off, all right? And he tied him up. I mean, both those guys did a tremendous job defensively. And Deitch, how he can play defense.
He can be very physical. He can be like that tick you get in your hair. You try to get it out, but it just stays. You know what I'm saying? It's just tenacious defense. It's that cat rubbing through your legs. I mean, you want to get rid of it, but you can't.
Every team needs a guy like Ben Deitch.
Yeah.
He frustrated Tay Davis so much. I didn't know. I thought I was going to see Davis maybe go after him or something. I didn't know what was going on. But you could tell Tay Davis was very frustrated out there, especially with Luby on him. And then when Deitch came in, the physicality that he has.
Well, if he thinks that Luby and Deitch was tough as nails on him, you wait till he walks into Cameron Indoor. There'll be another one.
And I'm sure he'll be a fine career, have a fine career, and I hope he does. It's great to see these guys go on and play and reach their potential. And we had Tay Davis up. He was kind enough, and his coach let him come up. We interviewed him at the halftime of the JV game, and he came up. So you ought to go see that on the YouTube replay.
Well, that's really nice. I mean, once again, it just shows you that, hey, we're all people.
Hey, exactly.
And it's all about basketball.
That's all it is.
And it's just a game, but we come up, we get along, we talk about basketball. And it was a great interview. People got to see it. It was very good.
And another thing I learned from yesterday's game is Raiden Faust, even though he spent a lot of time on the bench, those guys were big. Inside, they were big and athletic. Raiden Faust went right to the hoop. You know what? He had no fear. Now, in years past, Raiden sometimes was hesitant. Not this year. And he proved that yesterday.
Well, and that's the way it's going to be at college.
Exactly.
You're going to have to go in amongst the bigger trees.
Exactly. And that's exactly how Raiden approached that game yesterday. And so we should be excited for boys basketball.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah, we should be.
Yeah, we should be.
Anything could happen. You know, you got the sectionals. We're going to have to go through Eastern Hancock at some point, and we've already lost to them.
It was a close ball game.
Close ball game. So we're thinking, you and I are thinking that's going to be the matchup in that sectional. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you know what? They've done a great job. Coach Ross has always said or alluded to me that he felt they were real close from being really good to great. Yeah. And yesterday's ball game, even though they lost, could be that catalyst that gets them to that next level.
Well, you got to peak at the right time. You can't peak game one.
No, exactly.
Because maintaining that, we see it in college basketball all the time. Number one ranks don't last long.
They don't. They last a week, and it's somebody else next week.
Somebody else. So, I mean, we're excited about boys basketball.
Yeah, and so just take note, get out your schedules and your programs, because next Wednesday night, as you alluded to earlier,
we'll be home.
Be home, and I do know they have a conference game at Tri a week from next Friday.
Next Friday.
So those games will be coming up, and hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate. Let us get those games in.
It looks like they will.
And we'll figure out when the Hagerstown game is, so that ball game can happen, and we can go down and support our Knights. So a lot of excitement. It was good.
Speaking of excitement.
Oh, you want to talk about it now? There's a lot of excitement.
We cannot get any more excitement than the girls' basketball is now playing at Shenandoah, and that game will be Tuesday in the sectional championship for 2 years in a row.
And Union County, a familiar foe.
A familiar foe, which I believe we beat by 12.
12 to 14, something in that double digit.
But that was at one time over a 20-point ball game.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Yeah. So let's talk about the two games they have played, okay?
Well, the first game they played Centerville, which I was able to attend.
Now, Centerville, let's be, in all honesty, they're a building team.
Yeah.
Okay, so we figured that was going to be an easy win, and it was an easy win.
Yeah.
And so we a lot of good plays in there. A lot of good people played well. Anna Drake.
Yeah, Anna Drake played well.
Oh, my Anna just coming into her own here at the end of the year. Addie Mastriano was also played well. So, and again, this was a game you figured the Knights were going to win. They were going to go on to the Friday night, which turned into Saturday night game.
Yeah, into Saturday.
And they won it handily. Yep. They got it to the 35-point mark, which they got the clock running early, and they got that game behind them. And great. That's exactly what they wanted to do. But even though Centerville, is they struggle, all right, our Knights are coming together. These Lady Knights are starting to put it together. What has the theme been all year for girls basketball, Jerry?
It's a work in progress.
Work in progress.
Yep.
And it's been ups and downs and struggles and lack of confidence. But what's happening, and I honestly think it started in the Blue River game. They got blown out in the Blue River game. That they started seeing some of the things that they can do.
But you put over 50 points against Blue River.
And they're a state contender.
Which they haven't allowed 50 points in ball games.
Yeah.
So you put 50 on the board. That's a big deal.
That is a big deal. Let's face it, Blue River is a great team, and they're going to go far. All right, they're going to go far, potentially in their tournament. They're a 1A school, but they're a very good team, seasoned team, a lot of veterans on that team. But you could see almost a turning of the ship there with that game. And you even go on into the Winchester game. Now, Winchester's reloaded.
Right.
Okay? They're as good as they've ever been, and they've always been good. But we went up there, we lost by, 20-something points, but you could see they weren't afraid to compete.
But again, We put points on the board.
We put points on the board, and you could see the confidence just building
Absolutely.
through these games. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in the sectional is confidence, playing with confidence, and that's exactly what's happening.
Well, so they played Centerville on Tuesday. Win that.
Right.
And then the anticipation was to play on Friday. Well, that didn't happen.
Mother Nature intervened.
Mother Nature. And then on Saturday, they played those dreaded Shenandoah Raiders, who have been a thorn in the side of our girls' basketball program for a couple years.
Well, they've been a thorn in our side in everything.
Well, and a lot of other sports,
A lot
too.
of other sports, but specifically girls' basketball, a couple of sectional championships for Shenandoah
Yep.
the last 2 years, won at our expense.
Yep.
And so they were looking forward to this game. And Jerry, they came out and immediately start double-digit lead right in the first quarter, and they didn't look back. They held that 20-point lead pretty much throughout the whole game. It went up to 25, down to 18, but that's where it stayed. They just kept that lead, and they were tenacious defensively. I'm going to tell you, defensively, the boys can play defense, and guess what? The girls can play defense too. As a matter of fact, Coach Mayo, she sent me a text, and that's what she alluded to. The girls are coming together. They don't get frustrated when they make a mistake, because they will make mistakes.
Yep.
And the girls use a lot of players. They'll go 9 deep, 8 or 9 deep, sometimes maybe 10 deep, on their roster. They carry 12, and that's everybody.
Yeah.
All right. But they'll play 9, 10 players, and they keep running them in and out of there, just like the boys do. And what a fun fact here, in both those first 2 games, we had at least 8 players hit the scoring book.
Wow.
So that's good balanced scoring.
Yes, it is. Anytime you get scoring from everybody,
Yeah.
when you play the next game, the coach is like, well, who do we guard?
Exactly.
We're going to pick somebody to shut down. And the one thing I figured out with the girls this year, it seems like they'll go to a game and the coach will say, we want to shut this person down.
Right.
And they do, but somebody else steps up and scores.
Exactly.
And it's, I think, defensively by other teams, it's very frustrating.
Well, what you had in the Shenandoah game for the girls, Anna, 2 quick fouls, so she had to come out in the first quarter. And but you had Addie Mastriano stepped up.
Yep.
She was the double-digit scorer. Justice Slick was doing it all over the floor, offensively and defensively. Then you had Ava Mikesell. Ava struggled a little bit in the Centerville game, but she came back just like we've seen her all
Now,
year.
don't forget, Ava Mikesell was pivotal in that Union County win.
Yes, she
She
was.
hit a lot of free throws down the stretch. What was she, 9 of 10 or 8 of 9 or something like that down the stretch?
Yeah, and what you're going to find with Union County is they're quick. They're not as big as Knights are.
Yeah.
All right, so there's going to be a definite size advantage for the Knights, but they are quick, and they do have some good ball handlers, and they can score from the perimeter.
And they will come in with a good game plan.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know that's going to happen.
And you know it because you just know it's going to be a battle.
And again, I'll even allude to Anna Drake again for the Shenandoah game. Even though she had to come out early, she left her mark on that game because she is hitting her peak at the right time. And she does it, Jerry, and you know this because you've seen her with a smile from ear to ear.
Well, Rick, did you have a chance to talk to anybody?
Well, we did. We're going to show you 2 interviews. First, we've got Addie Mastriano and Anna and that was after the Centerville game. And second, we're going to go to Justice Slick, Marissa Cates, and Ava Mikesell. That was after the Shenandoah game.
Fantastic. Well, let's roll the film.
Let's go to it.
All right.
We're here at the Shenandoah sectional, and the Knights have defeated the Centerville Bulldogs by a score of 58-14. And I'm here with Anna Drake, senior, and Addie Mastriano. Anna, you are on fire tonight, man. Let me tell you what. So what do you attribute that to?
I'm just playing every game like it's my last because it could be. So I'm just having fun.
Yeah. Addie, we started out a little slow in the first quarter, but that second quarter, 26-0 run, that kind of was the game right there. So
yeah, it was hard going just because they were kind of just all over the place too. So I mean, it was hard getting to the basket too, just because of how they play. But we got it going. Yeah,
got it going, and the clock was running the second half. That's what we kind of wanted to do, and we got everybody played tonight. So hey, Shenandoah on Friday night. And we'll be here whether it's snowing or not. We hope so, right? We might have to ski here, but we'll get here though. Yeah. What are we thinking, Anna, about Friday night's game?
We're peaking as a team right now. I think we're just all, Mayo called it the 12-headed monster. I feel like everyone's just contributing right now all together. We're playing as one, and I'm really excited for Friday.
So we're hoping for a little faster start on Friday night, Addie, and see those layups go down, right? We want to see them go down. So what are your thoughts on Friday night's game?
I agree with Anna. We're really just at a high point right now, which is the perfect time in sectionals, of course. And I think we're all contributing how we should be and how we're supposed to play all the time, yeah.
Well, you guys both played a great game overall. Knights played a great game, came out with a win. That's what we got to do, just win and go on, right? Well, we'll see you Friday night. We'll be looking forward to it. So back to you guys, but Knights win 58-14, and they move on to Friday night against Shenandoah. So here we are at Shenandoah semifinal, and the Knights defeat the host Raiders by a score of 48-26. I'm here with Justice Slick, Marissa Cates, and Ava Mikesell. Justice, just a total team effort tonight.
I think we really did leave everything out on the court. We all knew that coming into this game we were going to have to fight for a win since Raiders have been our lost sectionals for the past 3 years, so we knew that we were going to fight for it, and that's what we did.
Losing the last couple of years to the Raiders, that meant something to you guys. So defense was the name of the game tonight, Marissa. You had your nose right in there too, so tell us about the defensive effort.
Yep, yeah, I think that we just put a lot of pressure on them, and despite we got up on pressure and we just stayed up, and I think that created a lot of turnovers, and they were just kind of chaotic, and I think that's really what won us the game was our defensive end.
Ava, you kind of got the party started, a couple threes here in the beginning, and it was all straightforward from there. So what are your thoughts on this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm glad that I kind of did something to help us get fired up. I think it helped us all get some fire in us, and we were ready to continue the game out, and yeah.
All right, so we're going to face Union County. We know them pretty well. Anybody got any thoughts? How about you, Justice? What's your thoughts on the Union County coming up?
I don't really know.
They're a fast team, and so they got speed, so we're going to have to use our speed. We got Marissa over here. She's got speed, right? So any thoughts on the Union County game?
Yeah, I just think we need to have the same intensity that we came with tonight, and just don't underestimate. We just have to go in with our minds right and ready to play. Anything,
Ava, you'd like to add to that? I noticed the last game you were kind of down a little bit, but tonight you were on fire. So tell me about that.
Yeah, I think Union County would be a great game for us to end on. So, yeah.
Be nice to take that sectional home. It's been an up and down season, but we're on a roll right now. We want to keep it going. So congratulations. We'll look forward to Tuesday night. So that'll do it from here. Come back on Tuesday night. We got to see a big cheer block here. We got to see a big crowd as the Knights take on the Union County Patriots for the sectional title. Back to you guys.
Well, Rick, it looks like the girls are, you can tell in the video that you're just a little confident.
Well, Jerry, they're having fun.
Yep.
They are enjoying themselves. They're playing for each other. They're playing for their coach right now. And you can tell when you go out there and you watch them on the court right now that they have taken that attitude that, you know what, all those frustrations and those down games and those ups and downs that they've experienced this year, games they should have, could have won, but did not, it looks like that potentially could be in the past. Now, they're going to have to come up with a good game plan against Union County.
Oh, absolutely.
This is going to be a good game.
This will be a chess match.
It will be, and they've got a good coach, and he'll put, like you said, he's going to put together a game plan, for their squad. But we would not be surprised if on Tuesday night, they'll be holding that trophy. I mean, they have it in them. They're playing. They're peaking at the right time, and we want them to do it. So good luck to them.
And that game will be at Shenandoah Tuesday night, 7 p.m. tip. I think ticket prices are $6. So love to see a crowd there.
And thank you, Shenandoah, for hosting the game.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hey, guess what else we got going on?
What's going on?
I've just heard that the drum line, or the drum corps, we're going to send me some mallets, and I'm going to play with them next week in the show.
We're going to have that, I don't know what that thing's called, right?
Yeah,
all right.
A xylophone.
Xylophone, whatever that thing is that Anna Day was talking about. So, well, that'll be fun, man. We'll all have to tune in to see that.
Well, that'll be fun. You have to, now you turn the volume off, though. No, but they have a show coming up next week, don't they? A competition?
Yes, they do. I have it written down here. So they'll be in Franklin Central on Saturday, probably performing around about 12:30 or so.
Yeah.
That's their first of the year, so they'll be there. Franklin Central is south of Indy.
Go to Post Road, hang a left, and stay on it.
And you'll finally run right into the school.
You'll run into it eventually.
Yeah, so that's where they'll be, and that'll be their first competition. So hopefully for our next Nightline that we do, we'll have some results for that. We also got a little Damsels news.
And I heard, now this is just a straight rumor, that since I'm going to be playing the xylophone with my mallets, Rick will be tossing sabers.
There's going to be missiles flying everywhere. So I don't know who we're going to get to protect us, but this could get dangerous.
It could get dangerous.
We'll bring in a gun or a rifle too. We'll get that thing flying through the air, and we'll see how that works. And now we'll have to ask them 4 rows down to look out. All right. So, but anyways, the Damsels got canceled on Saturday night. Their competition was canceled, but they'll be in Mount Vernon, which isn't that far away.
That's in Fortville.
Yeah, and I don't know what time their performance is going to be, but you can go ahead and call Tracy Ross or somebody at the school.
Probably could DM her on the, I think it's called DM it, direct messaging on Facebook.
Yeah, something like that. You know, we're kind of techno-challenged around here.
Yeah, I'm with it.
But, so you can go ask Tracy, but typically they, maybe about 3 o'clock in the afternoon is when they'll typically go, but, you know, it could be later too, so who knows. Go see them, Mount Vernon. You know, if the girls get the regionals, they'll play in the morning. You could skip over and see the you go to the drum corps, then you could head over to Mount Vernon and see the Damsels, and then you could head back to the night game if the Knights are fortunate to get that far. So could be just an all-day event for you. So that's what's going on there. And Tracy said, when you talk about Damsels, you're always putting, you know, tweaking things. And they are putting the finishing touches on. It's like a game plan in a basketball or a football game. You know, you get a playbook. That's what they're doing. They're putting their playbook in, and they're getting all their plays in, and that's what's happening with Damsels.
Woo! Well, we got a bunch in tonight.
Yep, we got a bunch more coming up.
Bunch more coming up. It's busy time of the year. Just go over things real quick. Girls basketball is Tuesday.
Be there
at Shenandoah.
We need. Let me just make the plea. All right, cheer block. You guys got to show up. All right. We've had decent crowds. Saturday night was a decent crowd. We need to pack the house. I mean, we need the cheer block going all the way up to the back wall. So come. It'll be a fun game. It'll be exciting. There'll be celebrations if you win, sadness if you lose, obviously. But, you know, your Knights, Lady Knights have an excellent shot at winning this sectional, and that would be a great accomplishment for them.
And then we got boys basketball home on Wednesday, and that'll be on My Team Live. We'll broadcast that. Once again, love to have you at the game. And then I think Friday the boys are at Tri-High.
Yep, make the trip down there. It's not that far away.
Not that far.
So make the trip to see them. And if we're fortunate, girls will play Saturday morning. If they win Tuesday, we'll have, you know, you'll look for Twitter or wherever you find your night's news.
And then we have wrestling, 3 wrestlers at the Newcastle regional semi-state. And that'd be Heather Krall, Jackson Ramsey, and
Michael Henderson.
Michael Henderson. So
lot going on.
And then you can always go to Franklin Central for some drum line, or Mount Vernon for some damsels.
Mount Vernon for damsels, and not to look too far down the road, but in a couple of weeks there's going to be a boys sectional draw.
Yep.
So that's coming. We'll have more to say about that.
It is packed and stacked in the big house here at Northeastern.
There is a lot going on, but it's fun. We're enjoying this.
This is the good time of year.
Yeah, it is.
This is like our March Madness.
It's a lot of fun. I got to tell you, my wife and I yesterday, Saturday, we came here for 11 o'clock. We got here for the boys' game, and she helped out with as the executive producer. Yeah. We had the wrestlers come in right after the game. We spent some time with them. We headed down to 1,000 Degree Pizza.
Oh, and how was that?
Finally got to go there. It was a great place. I wish it was closer. And then we went to watch both games, a girls sectional. It was a great day.
Well, hey, for Rick Fletcher, I'm Jerry Middleton, and you know what? It's been a great night.
Oh.
Not a good night, it's a great night.
Great night. That's a wrap.
That's